in the mid-20s, we went to the case method, not because we knew what we were doing, but we said there's another very successful professional school at Harvard. It's called the law school. They teach by the case method. Why don't we try that? So people wrote cases, but the analogy failed because you don't have a court system in business that tells you the right answer. I would say our case method is much closer to what the medical school does in what they call grand rounds, where an experienced doctor will take a bunch of residents and interns, and they will walk around and look at sick people, and the professor, the senior doctor, will say, what's wrong with this person? And they'll just work through that case, and then they'll go to another case and another case. So it has evolved, and it wasn't any grand foresight that we said this is the way it's going to do, but now in the last 80 to 90 years, it has become the method we use for everything. I really think our biggest goal is to develop a community of people committed to this form of education. You know, if you believe that's the goal, this is the community. You are the people that are out there hopefully doing the kinds of things that we would like to see done. This is what we teach. This is the model I think most of education is based upon. How do we teach content? You'll see the new buzzwords that are coming up is this is knowing, this is doing, and this is being. Those English gerunds, I guess they end in INGs. But you'll see this a lot in the stuff that's coming out of Harvard now. We're saying, look, we should be teaching our students not only how to know things, how to know the Black-Scholes, we should teach them how that should be applied in some kind of realistic situation that they'll confront in their life. And even more difficult, we should be teaching them about what that means for the broader society they're in. How do you measure success in this learning? I think it's a very long-term measurement. We think that this method made a difference, I'll say it this way, made a difference in my life. Okay, I think differently because of the Harvard Business School, I know that. If I had a course that says today we're going to analyze the New York Times, I get the stuff the same time. That's an ugly course to teach, right? I mean, you said earlier, one of the things about the weaknesses of this for teachers is I can't get prepared. I have to deal with the uncertainty as much as they do. I believe in this method, but it's hard to do it on the fly, because sometimes when you do it on the fly, you really are sloppy. You really aren't prepared, and you haven't thought through some of the kinds of keys like that. I think it's important to ask students what happened. And in my experience, teachers who didn't make me work hard, I didn't rate well. This is the number of doctors, medical doctors, less than 20,000. This is the number of all doctorates, PhDs and all that, up in the 40,000 range. That's MBAs at the top. In the last year or two, we've been reviewing our own program and trying to understand the changes that we think are needed. We're looking for what we call a bigger segment of our students' mind share. We're trying to get a bigger share of their mind. We're going to try to introduce more field-based learning, which we hope will be as successful as our case-based learning has been in the last 20 or 50 some years. And in the field-based learning, our goal is to try to get our students actively involved in projects with real organizations, helping analyze what the problem is, and having to live with the consequences of their decisions. We think that's a realistic way to train business leaders.